Everybody, welcome back in. I'm WCA3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty, 10:40 p.m. Here we are on this Monday night. We've been dealing with really heavy rainfall, severe weather, reports of trees down, power lines down in a lot of places, especially Vermilion County. Flooding right now, a big thing that is ongoing down in the Coles County area, Mattoon to Charleston. Flash flood warnings are in effect out there. But what we want to do is actually bring in meteorologist Jacob Dickey, who is out there with us here tonight. And Jacob, you have been out there and you've got some flooding there in the Mattoon area. What we're going to do is go ahead and toss it out to you. Tell us about what you have seen out there, and kind of you're right there where they had some cars that were stalled out. So what do you got there right now?
Yeah, Kevin, I am on the east side of town. It looks like I'm at, I think this is 2nd and Broadway, 3rd and Broadway, it looks like. The intersection, it's typically floods as 4th and Charleston. That's just east of the Huxon town. And the water came up very quickly here. Heavy rain in a short period of time, and now there are numerous roads closed in this side of town. We can't get to the center part of town here. We're going to sneak around and take a look here in a minute. Let me turn it around. You can see here emergency vehicles have the area blocked off. We watched live on the news at 10 a car stalled out in that water, and first responders did get the person out of the vehicle and they transported them to dry ground. Now they're keeping people out of this here because there's a good foot and a half of water in front of us here on the road where that ambulance is sitting. And this here is Broadway. To the left of me, just south of me, is Charleston and Charleston Street. That's the main highway east-west through town. And I'm going to take you this way real quick just to show you real quick the fire truck that's blocking up here as well. And then we'll try and navigate our way around because I know there's other calls for assistance. We called in and said, hey, there's someone in a vehicle in rising water here. And because of that, these crews responded quickly and were able to take care of things. So it's going to be hard for me to turn the camera. What I may have to do is switch to my back camera and get a view from it driving away. They still have the road blocked off here. The road is closed at this time, and you can see on the back camera the fire truck sitting there blocking the road. Looks like he's getting ready to move now. The water, as quick as it's come up, is starting to go down a little bit, but there's other calls for assistance here in the area, and so certainly we're going to keep watching this and see what else is going on in town. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey in the Storm Tracker. What we're going to do is, Kevin, we'll check out a few other spots that I've heard some inklings about here in town, and then we'll perhaps check back on anything. But the flooding now, big concern here in town, and the rain has at least slowed down a bit. That's the good news, but we will see how long that stays that way. Reporting here in the Storm Tracker, I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey. Kevin, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. Appreciate the report. So we'll check back in with him here in just a second. Let him kind of reposition himself and see if there's anything else there for him to kind of take a look at. Here we are again, 10:43 p.m. on your Monday night, and let's do a little bit more with the radar here, kind of do a little bit of radar tour. And actually, before we get to that, I want to talk about power outages here because power outages are numerous, especially in Vermilion County, over 1,500 at last check. Macon County has, I believe, about 700 to 800 there. Piatt County between 250 and 500 customers without power. Some other sporadic reports in Champaign, DeWitt, Sangamon, Cass, Morgan counties there, but nearly 6,000 statewide here as of the last check. And a lot of those again in Piatt County, specifically Piatt County, I'm updating this right now, 482. There's 1,439 in Vermilion County without power. Champaign County just has 51 as of right now. Cass County has 108. Morgan County has 20. So that just kind of gives you an idea. Looks like Coles County is now up to 85. So we'll have to update the graphic there, up to 85 without power. And a lot of that because of things like this. Take a look at this video that I'm going to share with you. This video here is going to be of a transformer in the Potomac area that caught fire there. And You can see it kind of arcing the power line there along the transformer. And so that was earlier tonight in Potomac as the storms kind of came through. And so just look at that thing right there. If you've ever heard an arcing power line, it's an eerie kind of a sound, and hearing the electricity and whatnot. So that was in Potomac earlier here tonight. Let's see here. I've got some other pictures to share with you of some trees that were down. Let me load those up. This is actually up in Thomasboro around 6:45. This was like right in the beginning when all this was going on. So Thomasboro had some trees down up there, as you can see. Jolene is sending over that photo, and I just got a new one that just came into me here. And this was actually up in the Armstrong area. That is a power line over one of the county roads there, just north of Armstrong. Lacey Griffin snapping that photo. And so things like this with the trees and the power lines down, obviously causing some of the issues out there that we have seen. So what's happening now? Well, let's take you back to Mattoon, where they got a lot of rain. It is still raining down there. You can see that is the view on our camera there. We can take you back here to Champaign, where we just had some fairly heavy rainfall come through here along Neal Street. It's starting to slow down a little bit, but we still have some heavy rainfall. I'm looking at the chat down here where you guys are all in there. I would love to hear from anybody that had any reports of any damage or any other things to pass along. I'll take a glance down there and see what we got in terms of any other reports. But the good news is it does look like there is a somewhat weakening trend, at least to the kind of severe aspect of things. I don't want to completely, just let go of that severe potential just yet. We still definitely have some heavy rainfall, so let's do a bit of a radar tour for those of you that are watching here with us. So let's talk about Watseka. Raining there and along Route 1 down to Milford and Wellington. Looks like a good little cell there just to the north of the Goodwine area. Let's go a little bit more to the south here, where the flash flood warning is still in effect for parts of Vermilion County because of how much rain they did get there. And it's still raining again because we just had this cell that kind of developed over Champaign, and so now Sellers, St. Joe, Royal, Fifty, and Oakwood, some areas that just got pounded by rain earlier are getting it once again. So Homer, Sidney, Philo, and then some heavier stuff showing up just to the north and west of the Broadlands area, northwest of Allerton as well. Again, I'm just going to glance over here, look at some of your comments. Lerna, lots of heavy rainfall. No rain in Florida. Thanks for tuning in Florida. Nothing in Effingham. Paris getting some thunder and lightning. Power at Waterview. Again, I'm just reading your comments here from the chat. Anyone else in Oakwood still out of power? Stay safe. No power in Hobbuck. Down trees in several places. Still getting lightning and thunder in Danville. Village of Ogden has flooding on Broadway Avenue. Lots of heavy rain. Hobbuck. That one might be a new one for me. Hobbuck, Illinois? I am unfamiliar with that area. All right, so I know a lot of you tuning in here because maybe you lost your signal on your dish or DirecTV with the satellite, so we're on here with you. I want to continue our little radar tour here as we go back down here into Coles County, into parts of Shelby, Moultrie County, where that flash flood warning is still in effect. Looks like the rain finally starting to lighten up just a little bit, but still raining Charleston, and now getting down towards Greenup and Casey. You guys haven't had a whole lot here yet. As you mentioned, Effingham hasn't had a whole lot, so some other little scattered showers. But the heaviest of the stuff, the real heavy stuff that we had, is actually starting to kind of taper off just a little bit. There are still some storms, still some heavy rainfall out there, but nothing as crazy as we had just a couple of hours ago out there. Let's see here. I'm going to pop Jacob back up in here and see what he's got for us. Let's see here. Let's see if Jacob is still with us. All right, Jacob, what do you got out there?
Hey, Kevin, we're here in the storm tracker right now. You can see cars just driving through these high water right now. We've got to stress, turn around, don't drown in these situations. We know that there was water rescues at 4th in Charleston, and then right here, this is 14th. and Charleston. This is 15th, actually 14th is right here. They responded to cars stalled out in the water here as well earlier and rescued a couple of people from vehicles. We've heard of no injuries. It seems like the water wasn't sweeping cars off the road, more they were stalling in there because of the water. This intersection looks like to have a good foot of water. It's over the sidewalk here. If you're familiar in Mattoon, downtown Mattoon, the Burger King sits right there, and you'll see this car about to just blow through that high water, sloshing water all over the place here with the rainfall rates. They were excessive, Kevin, coming down very heavy in the area here, and that heavy rain has caused some problems here. Now the rain's let up, it's lighter, but still at 4th and Charleston, the road is closed. Crews had to scatter to other locations for flooding and to help with the calls for assistance. So this road right here, cars are just in the opposite lanes right now, avoiding the highest of the water. It's came up very quickly here. We were driving into town just as things started to deteriorate fast here, several inches of water in a short period of time, and that's what will happen in these types of situations. Kevin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little video footage, and that way we've got some stuff for the morning show. And then I've got another location I've heard of perhaps some high water here in Mattoon. And then after that, we'll probably call it a night from this area and just make sure there's not other problems that are occurring. But it seems like, Kevin, and correct me if I'm wrong, from what watch this right here. This car about to just take off through the water, throwing that water all over here, and it's turn around, don't drown, folks. That's what we want to say when it comes to situations like this. It seems like, Kevin, perhaps we're getting to at least the second half of this and maybe closer to the fourth quarter with our heavy rain and severe weather, but quite a bit of damage, quite a bit of flooding as well across the area. Kevin, I'll send it back to you.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Jacob. Good job out there showing those streets and roads that are covered with water. And as we mentioned, turn around, don't drown. We saw live on the air at 10 o'clock, first responders that had to go out. Vehicle stalled right there, and we watched them push the vehicle out of the water there. They had to come out in the middle. And the thing I hate about that is that was in the middle of a thunderstorm. And I mean, it was coming down there, lightning all over the place. And, you know, you're really putting the first responders in a tricky position as they got to come out and rescue you because you drove your water into those flooded roads. I know it's tough to see at night, but when you do it on purpose, that's one thing. If it's an accident, it's an accident, but do it on purpose, and then you got to get these first responders out there to rescue you. I mean, come on, putting their lives in danger, not just, having to get out in floodwaters, but with the lightning all around. And I experienced that when I covered the Joplin tornado, when they were out there after the fact. A state trooper died from a lightning strike when they were just out doing, kind of rescue recovery kind of stuff. So if you can, don't put them in that position because turn around, don't drown. That's a real thing. Okay, so here we go. Thunderstorms continuing to move across, but definitely weakening here, and that's a good sign. Now, there's still some pockets of some heavy rain, and if you're down here near Longview to Homer, still a pretty good little storm down there, but largely a lot of this starting to try to kind of wrap up a little bit. Charleston, you guys still have some heavy rainfall there. Reports maybe of even some rescues ongoing down there. Some water rescues and whatnot. KZ, you guys have still got some heavy rainfall. Here's what I'll do here is put a loop on this so you can kind of see over the past, well, let's do a fun loop. Let's do over the last 5 hours, because that'll really show kind of how all of this just blossomed, okay? We didn't have a whole lot, but boy, where it did come down, it came down big time, and that a lot of that there into Vermilion County. And again, and they're still dealing with more rain showers out there, but a lot of activity here, Vermilion, Champaign County, parts of Piatt, into Coles, Douglas, Moultrie County, seeing a lot of this here tonight. So again, a lot of flooding still ongoing. The rain is continuing. Let's shorten this loop so you can kind of get a real idea of just what's been happening over the last 45 minutes and where these storms are going. So notice the storms here into southeast Champaign County, probably going to continue to kind of dive here into southern Vermilion County. And this activity here that's been into Coles County is stretching a little bit more into Clark County, and we'll catch some more of those thunderstorms over the next few hours. Pouring in Milford now. I'm in Atwood. Can still see some lightning. Again, I'm reading some of your comments here. Flooding all around us, says Barbara. Jessica was at the Bar and Grill in Penfield. Lightning bolt struck their dish. Their car got closely struck by a lightning bolt. Yikes. That does not sound good. Hey, what's up down there in Tilton? Oh, we're still having a lot of lightning striking. It's very loud. So still dealing with these thunderstorms moving across some areas. And yeah, this I got to tell you, this little cell here that's down, I mean, the strongest one is showing up down towards the Broadlands area, east of Villa Grove. But that's going to be coming towards probably Newman, Hume, Seidel here before too long as that kind of dives to the southeast. And again, still raining here in Ogden, St. Joe. I'm going to click on the lightning because the lightning has been pretty impressive with all of these storms. So there's still a few lightning strikes, far less than what we had earlier. Still some here into Coles County. But the ones here into Champaign-Vermilion County, a little bit less. There's still a few. But it is something that is definitely on a weakening trend more than an increasing intensity kind of trend, so that's some good news. Hello, Patsy. Good evening to you. I'm just going to kind of scroll through some of our building in Charleston hit by lightning, getting some other reports that are just kind of coming into us here. Again, if you've got anything, feel free to post there or hit us up on Twitter and Facebook, any of those places where you can post any pictures or any reports. Obviously would love to hear anything that you may have as these storms kind of rolled through. You guys have done a great job helping kind of tell the story, and that's the thing, you know, we're here to try to tell the story of exactly, you know, what happened where and whatnot. So anytime you guys send us over some of those pictures and whatnot, it's always helpful for us, or reports to let us know. We pass those along to the Weather Service, and then they can kind of assess things and keep track and a record of what happens when these storms like this kind of move through the area. Okay. So the severe thunderstorm watch that we had in effect until 10 p.m., they didn't extend that. That's no longer. There are currently no severe thunderstorm warnings. We only have flash flood warnings that are still in effect here right now. Thunder and lightning in Fairmount. Still raining lightning in South Danville. No power for 4 hours. Yeah, Vermilion County. I mentioned this off the top there. You guys still have several counties that are you are one of the highest counties with power outages there. Nearly 1,500 there again. We'll update this graphic here because Coles County has recently gone into almost a couple hundred there that are without power. So we'll go ahead and update our little green ball to a yellow one. And you'll see that change right there. So now yellow there into Coles County with the power outages that are showing up there. All right, so we're going to be going back to Jacob Dickey here in just a moment, who has been down there in the Mattoon and Charleston area and encountering some flooding and whatnot. And so he's been down there tonight tracking all of this for us, and he's getting back into position. And so I think we'll just go ahead and toss things over to him here right now and see what it looks like he's going to be coming up upon something else. So I'm just going to pop his shot up here real quick. Looks like some additional lights here. So I'm going to go ahead and let him take it away. And Jacob, tell me exactly what it is that you've come across now there in the area.
Hey Kevin, I am sitting on Charleston and 25th now, and that fire truck in front of me is more flooded areas here in the west side of town. Now this area seems to be another one of those spots that you get heavy rain and it's one of the first to flood, and so we're seeing that play out here quite effectively across the region where we're getting the flooding, we're getting all that stuff here, and that's happening in Coles County from this efficient rain. I also saw what appeared to be a car stalled on the south side of town as I was passing through downtown. That's south on 45. I'm gonna go back there and check in a minute, but this here, more fire trucks, more police were heading in this direction, and so we decided to come out here and check out what was going on. One thing to mention, Kevin, in all of this, there almost in a way are not enough rescue vehicles to block off all the flooded areas. We saw that flooding there at downtown at 14th and 15th in Charleston. There wasn't anyone there. They were there for a minute. They had a water rescue there, got those cars taken care of, and moved out of the way. Then they moved on down to this address here, and I see some movement up ahead of us, some first responders looking to maybe reposition themselves. Of course, they're still got at 4th and Charleston blocked off too. So heavy rain has led to some flooding here in Mattoon, and it looks like they're starting to move their trucks here again. I would estimate, based on what I'm seeing, the water's at least halfway up the wheels, so that's a good up to a foot of water or so. And they may be on their way to another spot here. That fire truck's starting to back up, Kevin, so I may need to move out of their way for them. Of course, remember, I can't stress this enough, and it shocked me, Kevin, how many people have just gone around the fire trucks, gone around the police cars, gone around the folks that are first responders and saying, don't come through here, and they just ignore them and go through. Remember, turn around, don't drown, and when you see police lights, fire truck lights stopped in the middle of the road, you probably shouldn't drive through that. So that's the advice that we're probably have to give out many more times after this, Kevin, but certainly the flooding here in Mattoon has been problematic for some folks, at least several water rescues from what we've heard from authorities and heard from other sources here in the area. Reporting in Mattoon, Kevin, I'll send it back to you. I'm meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. Appreciate the report out there in Mattoon, where roads, as you can see there, Wolf's going to leave his shot up there for a second as he kind of drives around, but several roads there flooded. Big issues out there tonight with just very heavy rainfall. Some, issues with power outages there in Coles County, but largely they really kind of got that heavy rainfall where Vermilion County got both. They had flooding and they've had quite a bit of wind damage that has been down there. Again, there's your power outage map showing up. You can see Vermilion, portions of Macon, Piatt County, those red, orange dots showing the most, but Vermilion County by far seeing some of those highest numbers here tonight. A little bit past 11 o'clock now is where we sit at this hour, where no severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect and no severe thunderstorm watches. So no watches, no warnings, but we still have these flood warnings because, look at this, it's still raining over here in portions of Champaign, Vermilion County. Some of the heaviest stuff now between Jamaica, Fairmount, and Longview to Broadlands area. And then some activity down here into Clark County and southeast of Casey, where heavy rainfall continues, flash flood warnings still in effect. Over the last hour, there's your radar loop. It's still coming down. Now, I will say some of the intensity levels on the rain have definitely come down. Not as strong as what they were, but it is still raining, and areas that have already seen a ton of rain still dealing with this out there tonight. So it's been another long evening here. I will say this, the good news is the severe weather and even the weather in general going to take a nice break for the rest of the week. Not expecting a whole lot more here for the whole week. So after this, we are going to be in much, much better shape than what we have been today. We're actually going to finally get rid of some of the humidity. Actually, a lot of the humidity is going away. Hey, I want to thank everybody tuning in here with us here tonight on the live streams and whatnot. And Jacob, you just you text me if there's another report or anything that you want to give. If not, probably going to wrap things up here. But if there is another report or something you want to show, I'll stay on for you. But But if you're ready to be done, he does have to do the morning show tomorrow, our short staff here, so probably not going to go to bed knowing him. So just let me know if there's another one you want to do. If not, we're going to probably wrap things up here. Again, several counties that have had damage here tonight and continue to deal with at least rainfall. The good news is I really don't think there's any more wind damage or hail that we're expected with these storms. There's definitely going to probably be still some ongoing flooding in some areas, so that still may be somewhat of a problem, but I think that the severe weather threat really kind of winding down. The instability that we had a ton of today. I mean, we had what's called CAPE, upwards of 4,000. We sometimes can get severe weather here with CAPE of 1,000, and we had like quadruple that, which is why these were also very efficient rainfall makers, a lot of moisture out there. And so it was a day for that. And why we had so many areas that, where a storm popped up, it created some of that severe weather. So that's kind of like where we sit here tonight. That instability wanes at nighttime a lot of times. You lose the heating of the day and you kind of lose that. And then the front itself moving through is going to be helping out with that as well. The cold front actually pushing through here pretty soon. You can actually kind of see it if you kind of look back. There's still a few little cells here. This is actually the cold front that's right back here. I'm going to be close to Peoria and Quincy there. And as that gets going, then we'll see things start to kind of wrap up. Thanks to everybody again tuning in here on the live stream. Here, I think Jacob's waving here. We'll give him one last little, there you go, wave, wave. There you go. All right, we'll see how he's doing. All right, careful driving back and all that craziness. And thanks to everybody tuning in here. Of course, we always have you covered no matter what it is. Severe thunderstorm, tornadoes, flooding, always have you here. The team always right here to give you guys the very latest on everything. If you do get any other reports or you find out any other things, stay in contact with us. Those of you that are watching on the stream here, make sure you follow Jacob Dickey on his pages, on my pages, on Seth's pages, on our social media. It's how we stay connected with you guys. You get alerts when we go live and whatnot. Hopefully you've got the WCA3 weather app, the app as well. Lots of things on there, so go and check that out. And just stay weather aware. That's always our thing here. But we get a nice little break here starting tomorrow as things calm down. The humidity's gone. The temperature's going to be great. The rest of the week looks amazing. And so we like that. So hopefully everybody has stayed safe out there tonight. And we'll continue to keep you updated on the morning show tomorrow at 5 a.m. They'll have full reports there, pictures and videos and other things that have come in. So again, that's why you can continue to help us tell the story. If you do find out some other things, be sure to share, post, let us know, email us, Facebook, Twitter, anything that you can kind of send us a little bit of an idea of what may have happened in your backyard to help us tell the whole story of what happened across central Illinois. That's going to wrap things up here for tonight. Thank you so much for letting us be the ones to bring you this severe weather coverage on this Monday night here in August, as we are almost done with the unofficial end to summer here. Of course, September 1st, kind of marking that, and Labor Day usually doing that as well. It'll start feeling a lot better here before too long. All right, guys, I will talk to you all soon. Have a great rest of your night. Stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one.